Hello everyone. In the banking regulation and operations course, today I'll be covering the second unit, which is on banker and customer relationship, and the fourth topic under that, which is on special relationships between a banker and a customer. So when we say the special relationship between a banker and a customer, that can be defined based on the two factors, which is the rights of the banker and the obligations of the banker. Coming to the rights of the banker, so the rights of the banker are classified into six categories, which is right to lien, right to set off, right to appropriation, right to charge interest, commission, fees, etc., right not to produce book of accounts, right under garnishee order. Coming to the obligations, obligation includes obligation to honor customer check, to maintain secrecy of customer account, to receive checks and instruments for collection, to honor customer checks across counters, and to give reasonable notice before closing a customer account. Okay, we will be explaining all the rights using some simple examples. First one is the right to lien of a banker. Suppose a banker gives a loan to a customer for buying a home. That is, I am a customer, I approach a bank for buying a home, and in this case, my home becomes the collateral for the bank. Okay, and at some point of time, I, as a customer, do not repay back the loan amount to the bank, or I stop repaying my loan to the bank. Okay, and the bank has given me multiple reminders. Even after that, I am not repaying back the loan. In that case, the bank gets a right to lien, that is to take the possession of the property, which is house in this case, till my loan is repaid back, right? So even after taking the possession of the property, still the customer is not repaying back the loan. In that case, the bank can even go for taking the ownership of the property and put it for auction or sales, so as to get back his loan amount from the customer. So that can also be done under the right to lien. Next is the right to set off. So suppose a customer is having multiple account with a bank, right? In this case, I am saying that a customer is having two savings account. It can also be like one savings account and another individual current account, or like that, right? So suppose if a customer is having two savings account in a bank and he has taken a loan against one of those savings account, right? And if he is not repaying back that amount after multiple reminders from the bank, in that case, the bank uh, gets the right to set off no that particular loan against the second savings account of the customer. That means if the amount due for that repayment of the loan, or the amount due of installment is 80,000 rupee, and the customer is having 1 lakh rupee as balance in the second savings account, so obviously the bank can set off that 80,000 against the 1 lakh balance of the second savings account of that same customer, right? Although the loan was not taken on that particular savings account. So that right is known as right to set off of the banker. Coming to the third right, which is on right to appropriate funds. Suppose the customer is having multiple loans with a bank. Like in this example, a customer has taken a personal loan, a housing loan, and a car loan from a bank. Okay, and he's making an insufficient payment to clear all the loans. Okay, that means if the total amount required for settling of all these loan is 5 lakh rupee, and the customer is just making a payment of 1 lakh rupee without mentioning to which loan it should be going, then in that case the banker gets a question as to which loan should be settled first. So here in this case, when the customer makes insufficient fund, so point to be noted is about the insufficient funds. Okay, when the customer is making insufficient fund, the banker gets a right of appropriation. That is, the banker can decide which loan is of utmost priority and to which loan the no amount should be settled off first. Right, this right is known as the right to appropriate funds. Coming to the next right, which is on the right to charge interest, commission, fee, etc. There are multiple facilities or no banking services that the bank gives to customers, whether it be lockers, whether it be ATM facility, whether it be debit credit cards, or any of those kind of services that the bank render. The bank has got the full right to charge interest, commission, or fees for those kind of services that it gives to its customers. Right, coming to the next right, which is on right not to produce book of accounts. So this is no typically very interesting, because it is a right for not doing something, right? So right not to produce book of accounts says that the banker can produce the account details or the no detail book of accounts of that particular account of an account holder only to certain people and not to everyone. Okay, if suppose if a person A is having a account with the bank, and if even if his wife comes and approaches the bank for getting the details of his bank account, can the bank give the details? Obviously, in that case, the answer is no, because the bank cannot produce the book of accounts to anyone else other than the customer himself, whether it be his wife or whether it be his parents or siblings or anyone, right? But yes, if no court of law issues an order for producing the book of accounts of a particular customer uh, due to some legal cases against that particular person, in that case, is the bank supposed to produce a book of accounts? Yes, the bank is. This is the right not to produce the book of accounts, and the no legal cases are the exceptions to this, right? And the last right of the banker is the right under garnishee order. So garnishee order is a legal procedure by which a creditor can collect what a debtor owes by reaching the debtor's property when it is in the hands of someone other than the debtor. Okay, and this case, the someone other will be a bank. Okay, suppose there is a person A and he gives a sum of rupee, say 10 lakh rupee to a person B. Okay, and the person B, even after multiple reminders, he's not repaying back the 10 lakh rupee to A. In that case, the A can approach a court and ask the court to issue a garnishee order against B, right? So in that case, the person no A who gives the money to B becomes the judgment creditor, the person who is entitled to get the money, and the person B who has received the money from A becomes the judgment debtor who is supposed to pay back the 10 lakh rupee to the judgment creditor, right? And suppose if the person B is having an account with a bank, then that against which no court has issued a garnishee order, then that case the bank becomes the garnishee there, because the judgment debtor is having an account with a bank. That bank becomes a garnishee, and now the account of that customer B in that bank will be temporarily freezed under the garnishee order. That means the court issues a order saying that unless the person B is repaying the 10 lakh rupee to A, the bank cannot unfreeze his account. Okay, so the first phase is known as order nisi of a garnishee order, where the court issues a freezing order for freezing the account of the customer in that particular bank. Okay, even after freezing and giving enough notice, the customer is not repaying back the loan amount, means the court will be issuing an order absolute, where the court asks the bank to keep aside a portion of that deposit of the account, say 10 lakh rupee in this case, separate and pay it back to the judgment creditor, and allow the judgment debtor only to use the remaining part of his account balance, right? So this is known as the right under the garnishee order. Coming to the obligations of the banker. So obligations of the banker, there are multiple obligations. The first one is obligation to honor customer's check, right? If a customer is depositing a check, or suppose if a third party is depositing a check on behalf of a customer, and the check is in proper condition and there is enough balance in the check, then the banker is obliged to make the payment against that particular check, right? Second obligation is to maintain secrecy of the customer's account, right? We have already mentioned this same point in rights also. Even if it is the closest relative of the customer, even if it's wife or his parents or his siblings or his kids, still the bank is not no having the right to disclose the account details of the customer to that particular person. So the banker is obliged to maintain utmost secrecy of the customer's account. The third obligation is to receive checks and other instruments for collection. So even if it is not a cash check, suppose a customer is coming and depositing the check of another bank for collection purpose in a bank, the bank is obliged to receive those checks and put it for collection and get the proceeds against those collection, right? And the fourth obligation is to honor the checks of customers across the counter. If the customer is coming with a check of a third party, and putting that check for getting cash in a cash counter, even if the customer no the account holder is unknown to the bank, even in that case, or if the customer is having account in some other branch also, but if the customer is coming to the counter for getting cash against that check, obviously the banker is obliged to make the payments against that particular check, right? And the last obligation is to give reasonable notice before closing the customer's account. So in some cases, we might see that the customer's account remains dormant for a longer period of time. So obviously the bank has the right to close those account, but only after giving enough notice to the customer. Okay, and if the customer can be asked to fund the account, the customer can be asked to reactivate the account, even after giving multiple reminders and waiting for quite a longer period of time, the no customer account is still remaining dormant, then only the bank can go for closing the account. These are the obligations of a banker, and I think this gives a clear idea about the various rights and obligation of a banker, which is mentioned as the special relationship between a banker and a customer. Thank you.